Okay, so Kill has been a Bollywood action movie that's been in theaters for almost a week now, and influencers and movie critics were raving about it. Is why I did not want to see it, because I was like, this is gonna be another run-of-the-mill movie. But then I heard that the guys behind John Wick franchise have bought the rights to make a Hollywood remake of Kill. And now you have my attention. So I saw the movie. And before we go into the review of the movie, I would like to call out to my sponsors, my hard work, my dedication and my consistency in life. Because no, this channel is not yet sponsored. So let's get on with the review. Okay, so I was expecting a Sasta John Wick, and so I took my entire family with me. And boy was I not ready for it. It was more bloody, more gruesome, more guts, more glory, more emotions. All in all, almost a better movie than John Wick. Don't at me, it's just what I think. So I went into the movie without any trailers, and the first thing I see in the theaters is Dharma Productions, and I was just like, no. This can't be even close to Sasta John Wick, but boy was I wrong. It had a very simple plot, does not take any time to go into the train, because I hadn't seen even any trailers, so I had no clue what to expect. The plot was simple, the characters were well established, we did not waste any extra time on melodrama, which is just so surprising, because you do not think about that when you see Dharma, Karan Johar and another movie next to it, right? But it's defying all expectations that I've already had just in the first 20 minutes. Obviously, if you've seen the trailer, you know the plot is that there are these two commandos on a train where about 30 to 40 dacoits come in. The love of his life is also on the train, her family is also on the train, they're on the way to Delhi, and what is supposed to be a normal robbery turns into a bloodbath. When the movie starts and the dacoiting begins, right, it's gonna be going well. You've got Laksha as the main character. He's pretty standard, good-looking boy with a good physique and everything. But on the other side, you've got his love interest, Tulika, also very doe-eyed, perfect Bollywood representation of what Indian standards of beauty are. And then finally you have the antagonist, Raghav Juyal, who is this guy who I've seen as I was a kid when he came on to Dance India Dance, if I'm not mistaken, as a contestant, went on to become a host. And in general, he's just a nice guy in person, very sweet to talk to and all of that. But when you see him on screen, being the bad guy that he is being, I did not expect him to be this ruthless, this good. Like, he was menacing and he just wanted to create trouble for the sake of it. And that is a hallmark bad guy. No motivations, just pure mayhem for the sake of it, and he absolutely killed. Okay, so when the action first begins, you feel like this guy has this Batman kind of no-kill thing going on, which is kind of ironical for a movie called Kill, and you're like, I see what you're doing there. You were doing the Batman no-kill thing, but at about the halfway point, something happens and his no-kill switch gets flipped, and that's when shit gets bloody, gory and beautiful. Because if you have a weak stomach or a faint heart, do not even bother, because you're gonna be squeamish as hell watching all the gore that happens in this movie. And it doesn't even look fake, it looks so good. I was so genuinely surprised that I came home and I'm telling all my friends, please go watch Kill. It's a very good movie, even by Hollywood standards, let alone Bollywood standards. Talking about Hollywood, the set piece, which was the train, it looks like they've shot in an actual train, but they haven't. The production design, the cinematography in this movie is almost pitch perfect, flawless. The train looks real and lived in. It looks like it's an actual compartment of a train that we've grown up traveling in. But it isn't. It's a full set which can be taken apart and deconstructed to shoot in a way that you want to. When you're in a train, you know that it sways and it has this little rocking motion and all of that. And if you see the BTS of the movie, which is already out, they've actually made motors under the set to keep it moving like a train. They've got these beautiful light things done outside to make it look like it's passing through stations and cities and forests. They've paid a lot of attention to detail in this movie, and that is one thing I've always had a gripe with Bollywood for not doing enough. In fact, of late, even the Western movies have lost the attention to detail that they once had, which made movies so great. But this one has all the makings of a great movie. Plus, shooting those tight ass action sequences in that close space quarters of the camera in your face, it builds a sense of claustrophobia as the action's going about, and it does justice to it. At no point does it feel like oh, they're cramped and they're struggling. No, the struggle is there, but it's part of the choreography, it's part of the action, it's part of how you'd imagine a fight sequence to actually happen in a train. One thing that Kill does right, besides obviously the action and the guts and blood and everything, which is great. We get to see that in movies like John Wick and Raid and Bullet Train. But for Indian audiences specifically, if you want them to connect to a movie, you need a little bit more of emotion. It can't just be that your dog died, so he went on a rampage, right? There needs to be a little bit of the fatherly love, the motherly love, there's a point in the movie where you actually feel bad for the dacoits because they are all related to each other as a family, and they start dying, and there's a sense of fear that envelops them. And our guy, after his no-kill switch gets engaged, he does some pretty horrific scenes, including hanging their dead bodies in a row as the bad guys are coming in, and they just have to go through the dead bodies of their relatives. They've used emotion to its advantage, because sometimes Bollywood lands up doing this melodrama part a little unnecessarily too much, which makes it boring. But this just hits the fine line. But at the same point of time, I don't know enough about my protagonists. They are a little two-dimensional. Like, good guy, NSG commando from the army, everything's awesome about it, madly in love with this chick, wants to run away and get married to her. That's all you know about him. And that, in fact, I feel like Raghav Juyal, the dacoit that he plays, I feel like I know his family a lot more. I don't know enough about Laksh as protagonist in the movie. I just know that he's a badass. He must have gone through intensive training because he's a commando, and he madly loves the girl, which sure, serves as a plot line, but it takes a little while to connect to his motivations. But once you do, it's over. While I'm talking about Kill right here on YouTube, if you guys like what I have to say about the movie and you like my opinions, if they're matching with you or not matching with you, either way, please like, share, comment, tell me what you didn't like about what I had to say, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to be a lot more regular, and it's not just movies that I do automobiles as well, and sometimes video games too. Over to the verdict. All in all, my advisory to you at the end is go watch this with family and friends and in a movie theater, not sitting at home and OTT, because this is a collective experience. The whole movie theater squirms and groans and claps, and it gave me slight Avengers vibes, right? When people get all excited and happy for the good guy, that will happen. There will be a lot of human emotion in the theater, and you have to see it in the theater for that, because when I saw it 2 days back, it still had an almost full house at 11:30 p.m. show. So yeah, go watch it in cinemas, and yeah, don't miss it. Job well done. Kill is a definite must watch.